The images that you see here are created by artificial intelligence by a software called Midjourney. And the author of the comic book, called Zarya of the Dead, submitted the book to the Copyright Office for registration and got a detailed response back. Now, this response is regard to registration of this particular comic book, but it serves as a great roadblock for anybody using AI-generated material in their works. So we start with the general position of the Copyright Office, which is that AI-generated works is not protected by copyright, because copyright requires a human author. So these images aren't subject to copyright protection, even though she created the prompts that led to those images being generated. Second, this text, that's her own text, and that's original to her, and that's sufficiently creative. So the text of the comic book is protected by copyright, which means she can register the copyright in the comic book. She has to disclaim the images generated by AI because those images are essentially public domain. Next, there's the compilation copyright. The selection and arrangement of these images in this way is protected by copyright because there is a compilation copyright so long as you have that minimum degree of creativity. Lastly, there's her enhancement of the images, her editing of the images, for which she used Photoshop, as you can see here. The Copyright Office says that's not sufficiently original to be protected by copyright. Now, editing images that are in the public domain can sometimes be protected by copyright, but what you see here is not. So if you look at all that, you get your roadmap to what's protected by copyright and what's not, at least in this instance. And you can look up this letter in the Copyright Office database. It's there for you. I think it's very consistent and logical with how the Copyright Office would ordinarily treat your use of any type of work that's in the public domain.